So I watch a lot of movies, and in doing these segments and making these videos, it's hard to find stuff that I haven't already seen. I spend more time scrolling between subscription services than I do actually watching anything, because it has to be both new and provocative, and hardly anything is ever both. This is day 5 of 31 Nights and 31 Frights, and today we're changing it up a bit. So I've just watched Horror Noir, A History of Black Horror. This concept alone was enough for me to hit play on this film without a second's hesitation. A Shudder original, also available for free on Prime Video where I watched it. And it's a documentary about the turbulent history and relationship between black people and the horror genre. And if I'm being honest, I never thought I'd see this made. Like, I'm a mixed race black man myself. 80% of my team is black, and I've loved horror films for as long as I can remember. So this perspective is so important for anyone in my shoes, and believe me, it's a lot of people. So while this isn't a horror film per se, I still thought it important to include it because it's the perfect bridge between the theme of this segment and what Hearse Boys represents as an organization. And I think that a lot of people that look like us probably don't know about or haven't seen this film, so I'm here to share my thoughts and inform your decision. So let's get into it. This film pulls no punches and is unapologetically blackety black, and that makes me so happy. This film is like, well, before we talk about all this made up shit, we gotta talk about Birth of a Nation. Let's talk about the very real horrors black people have faced in this country. And I'm like, oh shit, we shaking the table, goddamn. Then it cuts to a shot of fucking Ken Faree and Keith fucking David speaking in the same room at the same time. And all it would have taken for me to my was to throw in fucking Tony Todd and have the trifecta of black ASMR speaking to me all at once. Oh, God, it was just... Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. But beyond the initial excitement I felt by the end of the intro, the film takes it back. Like, way the fuck back. Son of Inagi, back. Like that fucking far. And I just love how this film isn't afraid to stare whiteness in the face and make you uncomfortable. Because you should be. It should be hard to watch, and this history should embarrass you. And it's a point the film makes very early on, right out of the gate. Like, yo, this is the energy we coming with, and if you don't like it, you don't gotta stick around. We're not sugarcoating shit. They talk about how important George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead was, and still is, to black representation in horror, and they talk about the historical parallels between them, which is a recurring theme here. Blackness, in essence, has always been radical to non-black people. It's always a statement. It's always political, and this film makes sure you're aware of how this plays into the inclusion, or lack thereof, of black bodies on the silver screen, and how that's juxtaposed with the treatment of black bodies in real life. You know, they hit on Blackula and blaxploitation as a whole in horror, the vilification of voodoo and the sexuality of black women in horror, and the black guy dies first phenomenon, as well as the sacrificial / magical Negro that exists solely to aid or protect the white protagonist, and how this carries over and goes on to inspire films like Get Out and The First Purge. And not just American black horror, they even touch on The Girl with All the Gifts, and even Attack the Block, like one of my favorite films ever. Like, I'm so happy that this documentary dug this deep. Like, they pulled no punches here, and they did their fucking homework. It's so good. They also shed light on some unsung black legends that honestly never got their flowers, like Casey Lemons, Bill Gunn, director of Ganja and Hess, a controversial film that paints black people in a completely opposite light than anything else during the blaxploitation era. And they got everybody for this movie, like everybody. People I've seen in a ton of horror films, people from like the production side of it that I've never seen before. You got professors, experts, historians, like literally everybody, breaking down the nuances of blackness in horror and how it's often a choice between seeing yourself portrayed negatively and being window dressing, or not seeing yourself at all. And on some occasions you get to see the internal struggle of that from the actual people that played these characters. It is so dope. I mean, this whole documentary is so refreshing. Like, upsetting, definitely, but necessary and refreshing, and very educating. I learned so much watching this fucking movie. I think we got our first perfect score here on 31 Nights and 31 Frights, because there wasn't a single thing I didn't enjoy about this film, and it's about time that happened. So if you've got Prime or Shudder, watch this film. If you're black, watch this film. If you're a horror fan, watch this film. But if you're white, you need to watch this film. So I'm giving this 5 black vampire emojis out of 5, because it was really that kind of experience for me. So let me know what you guys think. This has been another Hearse Boys segment. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications when we upload, and I will see you guys tomorrow.